Jaden Parker always chose the back desk beside the dusty window in math class, where he could hide his red cheeks behind a tall workbook and draw tiny blocky robots in the margin. Each morning, the shy 14-year-old promised himself he would finally speak to Ella Grayson, the cheerful girl whose laugh sounded like soda bubbles bursting in bright sunlight across the stuffy room. He rehearsed a greeting under his breath, mouthing the words with careful pauses, pretending the scuffed chalkboard was her friendly face smiling back instead of its usual maze of fractions. During lunch, he studied how her ponytail swung when she joked with friends at the popular table, and he wondered if confidence was hidden in some secret pocket he had never found. On the long walk home down Maple Street, he practiced silly jokes at every mailbox, hoping the rusty flags could judge his timing before he risked the real test tomorrow. He counted cracks in the sidewalk as if they were courage points, telling himself that each steady step was another coin saved toward the treasure of speaking without stuttering. Inside his small bedroom, he taped colorful sketches of robots performing heroic poses all around a mirror, visualizing himself as bold as the drawn metal champions. With allowance money, he bought a thrift store book called Smart Conversation for Teens and highlighted phrases like compliment, do not flatter, and listen twice as much as you speak. After weeks of secret training, he decided the upcoming spring fling dance would be his grand moment. The night stories and movies said changed everything for quiet boys. He skipped snacks for 3 weeks, stacking coins in a cracked coffee mug until he could afford a silver-colored bracelet from a flea market stall that smelled of popcorn and dusty dreams. He believed the tiny heart charm dangling from the chain could whisper the feelings his lips still feared, translating shaky silence into polished shine the way sunlight translates cold metal into warmth. The vendor wrapped the bracelet in tissue paper printed with fading roses, and Jaden tucked it into the inner pocket of his best and only blue dress shirt for safekeeping. At home, he ironed that shirt so many times the steam smelled like rain clouds, and he scrubbed his sneakers with an old toothbrush until the white rubber looked like fresh snow. The night finally arrived, and the gym exploded beneath a sparkling banner with paper lanterns, fairy lights, and a playlist of pop hits that vibrated the bleachers like thunder trapped in a metal drum. Jaden's palms sweated through 2 napkins while he searched for Ella amongst spinning silhouettes, the bracelet box in his fist feeling heavier than a bowling ball. He spotted her near a pyramid of orange punch cups, denim jackets sparkling with rhinestones, face glowing under multicolored spotlights like a lighthouse calling timid ships to harbor. A slow song faded, and he stepped forward, repeating the vendor's advice. Look them in the eyes, kid, as if the words were a knight's shield against doubt. But halfway across the shiny floor, Logan Trent, class clown and self-styled king of pranks, slid between them in one careless swoop, elbowing Jaden and knocking the velvet box into open air. The bracelet arced under the lanterns, catching every color before landing at Ella's white sneakers with a faint clink that sliced through the music like a dropped glass in a quiet restaurant. A circle of students turned, hungry for spectacle, and Logan's grin widened as he lifted the bracelet between 2 fingers, waving it like a captured bug under bright light. Look what our little artist found in the bargain bin, he shouted, voice booming through the DJ's microphone he had somehow grabbed without permission. Some kids giggled, and Ella, cheeks flushing pink, tried to hide a smile but failed, murmuring, "That's sweet, but I only wear real silver, not tinfoil trinkets." Laughter erupted, climbing the gym rafters, bouncing back twice as loud, while Jaden felt every note cling to his skin like hot glue he could not peel away. Logan bowed exaggeratedly and, with a mocking apology, dropped the bracelet into the punch bowl, where it disappeared beneath sticky orange waves and floating slices of canned peaches. The DJ cut the music in confusion, but the silence grew sharper than any beat, filled by whispers of loser that crawled over the glossy floor toward Jaden's frozen feet. His throat tightened until even breathing seemed like asking too much, and he forced a weak smile that cracked before reaching his eyes. The lanterns blurred as tears he refused to shed warped their soft glow, turning warm colors into strange ghosts that drifted above the crowd. He pivoted and walked toward the exit, footsteps echoing louder than the bass had moments before, each step a dull hammer against thin glass hopes. Outside, cold April air slapped his cheeks, and the gym door thumped shut behind him, sealing laughter inside like boisterous music boxes he could no longer open. He leaned against the brick wall, pulled the empty velvet box from his pocket, and read the handwritten note he had tucked inside. "For Ella, so you always shine." The words blurred, and he stuffed the note back, folding the box until cardboard creaked, wishing feelings could fold away as easily. That night his ceiling became a movie screen, replaying the humiliation on loop, the scene growing larger every time he blinked, refusing him any safe darkness. At dawn he dragged himself to the mirror, half expecting to see the word rejected stamped on his forehead, but instead he saw a boy whose eyes still held quiet sparks. Those sparks grew into embers of resolve, and he whispered a promise that no one else would ever douse his fire with cheap laughs again. He told his reflection that revenge would be engineered with patience, not rage, and that gears turned better when oiled with focus instead of tears. He tucked the crushed bracelet box inside a shoebox under his bed, labeling the lid lesson plan rather than broken heart, a small shift that mattered more than it seemed. Over breakfast, he opened a search browser and typed how to learn coding from scratch, deciding wires and signals might help rebuild what laughter tried to break. He spent the next weeks devouring tutorials, amazed that computers obeyed shy boys without mocking a single typo as long as the logic stayed sound. Each solved bug felt like lifting a barbell in the gym of his mind, strengthening muscles no bully could see yet, preparing him for a comeback none would expect. Standing beneath the old willow on Maple Street, he pressed a hand to its rough bark, promising the silent tree that the next time he stepped into that gym, it would be on his terms, not theirs. Jaden joined the stage tech crew and acted like a friendly helper, rolling heavy cables across the gym while memorizing which wire led to the towering projector screen. Each afternoon he stayed late, smiling at the theater teacher until he knew the switcher layout as well as the lines on his own hands. He practiced tapping the glowing buttons in perfect order with eyes closed, drilling muscle memory like an athlete shooting free throws in an empty gym. In his sock, he hid a flash drive, and when no one watched, he slid it into the control laptop, copying login files and video presets in seconds. Back in the attic, he sorted the data like trading cards, labeling folders for cables, cameras, passwords, and the link named Elefashion OU23. He wrote a replacement file that looked harmless but would open a hidden slide deck once it received a text from his phone. The deck began with school rules on kindness, then flipped through screenshots and voice clips where Ella mocked classmates. He attached timestamps and logos so no one could claim the images were fake, building a pixel courtroom even a bully could not escape. He trimmed the deck to exactly 60 seconds, trusting a short shock to cut deeper than any long lecture. Using the lighting console, he made spotlights jump from pastel blue to harsh white when the deck started, forcing every eye toward the runway. The day before the show, he greeted everyone with calm warmth, hiding the storm behind his steady brown eyes. Logan cracked jokes about camera pounds, but Jaden only nodded, picturing the grin melting in the screen glare. At lunch, he ate cheese crackers while noting which students could spread the live stream to thousands with one repost. He stuck notes on his wall, timing, proof, audience, and lifted dumbbells between coding sessions, turning nerves into steel. Before dawn, he dressed in black crew clothes, slipped the drive into a pocket, and tucked the schedule through his belt loop like a quiet flag of intent. In the gym, he taped cables flat, tested audio, and fixed a feedback hum so fast volunteers started calling him Fix-It J. When a cheerleader asked why he seemed calm, he said he loved big events, though his favorite part would last only 1 minute. By late afternoon, backdrops glittered and performers left, leaving Jaden alone in the booth with monitors glowing like moons. He donned headphones and watched test bars drift while a green icon pulsed, signaling the secret deck waited behind the promo loop. He breathed deep, remembering the boy who once clutched a bracelet, and whispered that tonight fear would repay its debt. In the locker room, Ella posed in a silver gown, unaware his program had just saved a fresh insult she posted about a handmade dress. He added the line to the deck and checked his stopwatch, pleased the runtime still sat under 60 seconds like a razor on edge. Parents filled bleachers, and Jaden saw his mother wave, trusting the booth to be the safest place in the gym. Guilt pricked him, but he decided silence would let new victims bleed, and resolve cooled the sting. The principal spoke about school spirit, but Jaden stared at the cell signal bars, waiting for full strength at the finale cue. Segment-by-segment models strutted. Even Logan swaggered in neon sneakers, yet Jaden's pulse stayed level, ticking like a metronome. The announcer called the grand finale, and house lights dipped to sapphire calm that would soon shatter like ice under a hammer. Ella stepped into the spotlight, gown scattering flares, and phones rose like a forest of mirrors hungry for the shot. In the hush before the bass returned, Jaden pressed send, and fiber optic lines carried the word run faster than any scream. The screen flashed white with giant letters quoting Ella's jokes. Gasps stole the room's warmth while flashes stopped mid-strobe. Company logos slid beside insults, and murmurs rolled across bleachers like distant thunder under a clear roof. He counted 20 heartbeats, then hit escape, dropping the gym to black as beams snapped to full, trapping Ella in a hard halo. His stopwatch reached 1 minute, and he exhaled, knowing sharp gears stop before they grind the machine to dust. He pocketed the flash drive inside a battery case to hide its shape if bags were searched. Teacher voices rose, cameras swung, and Logan backed away, but Jaden walked the service stairs at a study hall pace. He slipped through a side door into night air bright with news van headlights and watched reporters scramble for answers. 2 years of weight lifted like a sandbag cut from a balloon, and revenge felt more like relief than triumph. Streetlights hummed as he crossed the lot, phone silent now that its duty was finished, and its number set to vanish by sunrise. From the far curb, he saw gym windows flashing emergency colors and wondered whether any light could scrub humiliation from that floor. He touched the willow's bark, pulled his hood higher, and walked on, letting night settle like a blank page awaiting his next blueprint. Jaden's phone buzzed before sunrise with breaking news alerts about the fashion show collapse, and he lay in bed watching headlines multiply like startled birds across the glowing screen. He expected whispers at school, yet even global gossip feeds showed Ella's frozen face beside her harsh messages, and comment sections bubbled louder than any hallway rumor he had known. Influencers who once praised Ella's style turned on her overnight, reposting the 60-second clip with dramatic captions that converted curiosity into wildfire before breakfast cereal was poured. Logan's shocked expression became an instant meme, and he uploaded an unsteady apology video that trolls still layered with clown noses, proving the internet rarely accepts surrender so fast. The district office announced an urgent probe into the live stream breach, while radio hosts asked callers whether public shame teaches empathy or simply shifts pain onto fresh shoulders. Scrolling through feeds, Jaden felt both calm and uneasy, because the world now spoke the words he had clutched for 2 long years, yet their trembling volume rattled windows he never meant to break, shaking picture frames in distant houses he would never visit. A knot tightened whenever replay clips zoomed on Ella's tears, reminding him pain can echo louder than the first cruel laugh, an echo he had now launched for millions to hear. He dressed in plain jeans and a gray hoodie, rehearsing neutral answers in case reporters waited outside, though deep inside he wished the day could zip shut like a backpack. Police cruisers idled at the curb, silent lights enough to hush morning chatter, and yellow tape kept camera crews behind the faded brick where Jaden once felt invisible. Inside, bright Be Kind posters and free granola bars could not mute the metallic tension humming through every locker row. The principal's voice cracked over speakers, calling an assembly on digital safety, and students exchanged wide eyes that flicked suspicion like flashlights in a dark attic. In the gym, folding chairs replaced fashion risers, and the stage where Ella had posed now held only a blank projector screen as white as untouched snow. Jaden sat near the back, noting Logan slumped 3 rows ahead with shoulders curled like a wilted balloon, while Ella's seat remained empty, haunted by her own name. The superintendent spoke first, listing harms caused by viral ridicule, and he introduced a cyberbullying expert who said shame scars minds as deeply as fists bruise skin. Phones hidden in hoodies still buzzed with fresh edits of Ella's downfall, showing how advice swims against a raging river when curiosity feeds the current. Eyes drifted toward Jaden now and then, dust-mote suspicions floating in sunlight, but he kept his face plain stone, even when the principal thanked tech crew for quick action during the malfunction. A montage of alumni urged empathy, yet the only voice everyone craved, Ella's, remained silent, leaving the room colder than the air conditioner's steady hiss. The assembly dismissed, and hallways roared like beehives overloaded with sweet gossip dripping from every locker vent before lunch could dull the sugar rush. Jaden slipped into the computer lab, pretending to finish homework, while quietly wiping access logs and rerouting cloud paths so digital footprints dissolved like morning frost. He set time deletes on lingering screenshots, because trails grow weeds when left untended, and suspicion searches where weeds appear thickest. 2 juniors whispered that sponsors had cut ties with Ella, and her parents had confiscated her phone, grounding her digital wings until further notice traveled by word of mouth. Logan drifted past the doorway alone, his usual entourage missing, and for a breath Jaden considered nodding, but the moment fluttered away like a leaf on uncertain wind. Lunch lines felt strange, tables split between thrill seekers and fear watchers, and pepperoni pizza tasted mostly of caution while conversations dropped to furtive murmurs. Jaden chose a seat by the dusty trophy case, realizing attention flips faster than a coin. Yesterday his shame, today hers, proof crowds crave new spectacles more than justice. He wondered silently whether vengeance heals or simply trades bruises, and that question clung like static as he recycled an untouched milk carton with deliberate care. During third period, a substitute announced Ella would take extended leave for mental health, words that hung heavier than backpacks, even among students who had looped her clip all morning. A heat of guilt, warm but dull, settled in Jaden's chest, warning that justice without mercy becomes another bully wearing different shoes, stomping just as hard on fragile hopes left scattered on classroom floors. The final bell spilled teenagers into crisp afternoon light, and Jaden walked slower than usual, eavesdropping on rumors about canceled cheer privileges and social media purges. He passed the Willow on Maple Street and noticed its shadow felt shorter, as though childhood's darkest corner shrank beneath his longer stride toward an uncertain horizon. At home, his mom greeted him with hot cocoa and gentle questions. She sent storms, though news never named a culprit, and he answered carefully, protecting her quiet heart. She spoke of choices echoing across years, explaining even silent actions sing loud songs, advice he folded like a safety note into his mental wallet. That evening, district emails asked families to discuss digital culture, and trending topics shifted to celebrity drama, leaving Ella's story cooling like soup forgotten on a stove. Jaden archived the last articles, disabled the remote trigger program, and locked backups behind layers of encryption thick as castle walls guarded by sleepless code sentries. He lifted weights later, counting reps while noting each clang of iron sounded softer, as though anger had burned away its sharpest edges. Before bed, he opened his old sketchbook, flipping past robot armies until a blank page greeted him like untrampled snow, and he drew a bridge stretching over dark water toward sunrise. The drawing felt honest and good, sparking a thought that bridges might mend better than spotlights exposing cracks, an idea settling gently as ink dried in silver moon glow. He slid the sketchbook onto his desk, turned off the lamp, and lay listening to night sounds calmer than any since 8th grade. Laughter forged this mission of wires and whispers. Moonlight painted soft rectangles on the ceiling, not accusing, just present, and Jaden realized peace would require steady maintenance like any machine worth keeping. Eyes closing, he held no bracelet, no anger, only the promise that tomorrow's steps could pave roads kinder than revenge alone could ever carve. Morning birds would wake him soon, but for now the gentle hum of repair wrapped his mind like a quilt of resolve and hope, promising tomorrow's code would build stronger bridges. Spring days rolled toward summer as gossip cooled, and students traded test stress for talks about beach trips, while report cards fluttered from lockers like sleepy butterflies on a warm breeze. Jaden took a part-time job shelving books at the public library, happy to hide among tall shelves that smelled of ink and dust instead of phones buzzing with leftover scandal. Between returns, he opened his laptop behind the checkout counter and rewired his old revenge script into a friendly password safety tool, proving code can protect when aimed at problems, not people. He also kept drawing bridges in his sketchbook, adding beams and arches, whispering that each careful line was another plank across rivers of past hurt. One humid afternoon, he found Ella's best friend, Marisol, curled in the comic aisle with red eyes, and he softly asked if she was okay, even though history still lay between them. Marisol said Ella had moved to her aunt's farm after sponsors fled, and she feared her friend's spark might stay buried under dust and shame. Jaden felt an ache wake in his chest. He had wanted a lesson, not a shadow swallowing someone who once laughed like summer birds near the lockers. That night he biked the Maple Street Trail, wind roaring like ocean waves, wondering if one text might patch the tear he had helped rip. He drafted messages, deleting each because sorry felt small and excuses felt heavy, like stones tossed onto a sinking boat. July heat arrived with marching band drums from early practice, and senior year orientation brought freshmen calling him the helpful library guy, a nickname warmer than any medal. In the cafeteria, he noticed Logan, hair trimmed and face softer, signing up as a math tutor, an unexpected sight that earned a silent nod shared like a secret handshake. During homeroom, the counselor announced an empathy program pairing older students with freshmen, and Jaden felt its call vibrate louder than the bell. He volunteered on the spot, suggesting workshops using real stories, names hidden, to show how quick clicks can carve scars deeper than playground scrapes. Building the slides, he swapped actual insults for gentle stand-ins so the lesson would lift, not crush, yet still sting true enough to stay remembered. On launch day, he faced 30 freshmen and told them he once felt tiny beneath laughter, urging them to turn screens into shields, not spears. After class, a short boy thanked him, saying bullies mocked his homemade shoes, and Jaden showed him an online forum praising unique designs, planting new hope. The boy's bright grin proved teaching can heal speaker and listener alike, stitching holes left by old battles with shared stories. Encouraged, Jaden pitched the session to nearby middle schools, and weekends soon filled with bus rides and gym bleachers as he laid planks on the bridge he once only sketched. In brisk October, the counselor handed Jaden an envelope from Maple Ridge Farm, Ella's neat handwriting shaking in his hands like dry leaves in wind. Ella thanked him for hiding her name in talks and wrote that therapy and farm chores helped joy return, yet mirrors still flashed loud memories of stage lights. She asked if forgiveness was possible when both sides still felt bruises, hoping to build something better from the wreckage. Jaden carried the letter like fragile glass all day, replaying each word until meaning settled calm as dawn light over library windows. That evening he replied honestly he was sorry for choosing public shame, had learned better ways, and hoped she might shape the empathy program. Days later, Ella sent comic sketches of a bracelet dropped into punch then reforged from recycled metal, turning embarrassment into glowing art. She proposed making the strip into posters for younger grades, and Jaden grinned wide, amazed how creativity turns ashes into lanterns. Video calls felt awkward at first but soon filled with laughter as they drafted panels and colors, finding shared ground in art and a wish to guide others from the cliff they once fell over. By December, posters hung in every hallway urging kindness like traffic signs for hearts, and students posed for photos tagging #RebuildNotRidicule. Local news ran a segment on the unlikely partnership. Cameras blurred Ella's face, focusing on the message while Jaden said courage means choosing to repair, not just reveal. When asked if he regretted hacking the show, he admitted regret but said mistakes become blueprints when we study cracks and reinforce future builds. Letters soon arrived from kids statewide saying the comic helped them stand tall when peers mocked accents, clothes, or lunches. Each note felt like another plank on the growing bridge. On New Year's Eve, Jaden mailed Ella the flea market bracelet, now polished and fitted with a new heart charm cut from recycled library tags etched begin. His card read, "Beginnings matter more than endings. Sometimes revenge is only the prologue to a longer story named growth," and he signed it, "Your fellow builder." Ella replied with a sunrise selfie, holding the bracelet, captioned, "Starting lines shine brighter than finish lines," and bitterness melted like frost and sun. January snow blanketed the lawn as Jaden walked halls hearing freshmen quote comic lines while taping paper compliments to lockers, proof kindness seeds had sprouted. Logan joined him carrying extra posters for elementary schools, and together they stapled bright hope over old graffiti that once hissed silent insults. Looking up, Jaden imagined his bridge stretching overhead, built of every apology, lesson, and laugh shared since the Punch Bowl splash. He knew the bridge would never truly finish, because kindness is a road built daily, one plank, one word, one brave repair at a time. He stepped forward eager to lay fresh boards beyond the horizon, feeling the willow's shadow now a cool ally instead of a hiding spot. Passing the library display, he saw children tracing bridge posters with small fingers, already planning their own repairs, and pride hummed deeper than any applause. That night he closed his sketchbook, not to stop drawing but to rest, knowing Dawn would ask for more planks, and he was ready with hammer, code, and an open heart. Spring sunshine washed the last dirty snow from the sidewalks, and Jaden watched neon sticky notes bloom on lockers as students traded quick compliments like playground marbles everyone wanted to share. He counted more than 300 notes in 5 days, and the smiling janitor joked that kindness was harder to sweep than candy wrappers because hope tends to stick better than gum under desks. During advisory, the principal announced an essay contest called Building Bridges, asking each student to tell a time they chose empathy over mockery, with a tech college tour led by Jaden as the prize. Logan entered with a story about teaching a shy 7th grader to ride a skateboard, showing that even an old prank king can trade sharp laughs for cheers that echo warmly through open doors. Ella, still on her aunt's farm, joined the creative writing club by video chat twice a month, sharing how to turn heavy feelings into funny comics that end with hearts instead of tears. One afternoon, a brown envelope arrived at the library inviting Jaden to give the keynote at a statewide youth conference on digital kindness, a spot usually saved for famous authors on book jackets. He rehearsed in a quiet study room, lining cardboard robots on a desk as pretend listeners, while he explained that screens can become either stones that break or bridges that carry friends over rough rivers. Marisol animated his slides with bright captions and bouncing arrows so 6th graders would follow every idea like a game level, because simple pictures help big thoughts fit inside small minds. They planned a live bracelet rebuild on stage, swapping each bent link for a bottle cap painted silver, proving junk can turn into treasure when patient hands believe in second chances. Conference day began with a yellow bus ride and 5 contest winners peppering Jaden with questions about code, courage, and comics until nerves melted into giggles and shared snacks. Backstage, he tucked the dented bracelet pieces into a velvet pouch, but a text from Logan, "You got this, Captain Bridge," made him laugh loud enough to shake the last bit of fear from his stomach. The auditorium packed with students, teachers, and cameras. Chatter crashed like waves until the host tapped the microphone and spotlights painted Jaden's shadow tall across the curtain. He opened with a photo of the middle school dance, lanterns glowing like tiny moons, reminding everyone that huge storms often start with a single careless splash in a punch bowl. He told the story of anger turning into repair, saying pain is noisy, but kindness turns the volume down so good ideas can speak, and the crowd leaned forward like plants toward morning sun. Marisol clicked to Ella's comic strip, and Jaden explained how Wi-Fi and willpower stitched torn pages back together even when miles of cornfields lay between collaborators. He handed the freshmen blank silver links and asked them to say one word they wanted more online. Each spoke into the mic words like respect, help, and laugh, and the hall seemed to breathe softer. Together, the students snapped the links around the flea market heart charm, and Jaden declared every repair starts by admitting a crack exists, the way a doctor names a wound before cleaning it. Applause rose like a warm wind through trees, but he hushed the room and asked everyone to text one encouraging sentence to someone usually ignored, and phone screens glowed like green fireflies. Afterward, organizers praised his clear language and simple props, noting that even fourth graders in the live stream chat typed clapping emojis when the bracelet clicked shut. Reporters asked if he feared cancel culture, and Jaden replied that justice without a path back becomes another bully wearing shinier shoes, a lesson he keeps taped on his desk. The next morning, the city paper ran the headline, "Teen Turns Viral Shame into Bridge Blueprint," and the library printed it poster size so kids could see small choices echo wider than gossip. Ella sent a photo of farm kids planting saplings beside a hand-painted sign reading, "Grow Kindness," thanking Jaden for showing second chances can sprout entire forests. He pinned the photo under yarn threads that linked workshop snapshots, building a timeline that looked like stepping stones hopping across a deep blue river. College letters arrived. Jaden chose a university famous for cybersecurity and community outreach because he wanted to guard people as carefully as firewalls guard data. Scholarship reviewers praised his bridge project, and he realized the night a bracelet splashed into punch had become the spark lighting roads he once feared to walk. Graduation day brought tassels flicking like little flags, and Jaden urged classmates to leave every place kinder than they found it, including the internet where words live forever. He saw Marisol filming, Logan high-fiving freshmen, and his mother wiping proud tears while camera flashes reminded him that eyes seldom blink, so deeds must keep shining long after speeches fade. Fireworks boomed that night, and Jaden tied a ribbon that read "Road Ahead" around the willow, thanking the quiet branches for guarding secrets and promising to plant new stories. Summer jobs shifted into an internship plan, and on lazy Saturdays, he coded an app where students traded compliments like shiny trading cards, earning digital planks for consecutive kindness streaks. Neighborhood kids beta tested the prototype, cheering when animated bridge badges burst across screens after 10 kind messages, proving playful design can teach hearts faster than chalk dust. Ella illustrated a smiling robot mascot hammering loose planks, and her farm cousins giggled whenever the character spun in pixel confetti after a successful repair mission. App reviewers loved the bright colors and clear instructions, and a nonprofit pledged funding if Jaden would showcase the tool at a national EdTech expo brimming with hope. Late one night, he hit a tiny robot doodle in the loading screen, a quiet promise that art and code would keep walking hand in hand through every update. The Empathy Club now ran itself, led by freshmen he once mentored, and they mailed him a poster showing the robot planting bridge seeds across a cartoon globe. He framed the poster above his dorm desk, reminding himself that gardens of goodwill need weeding because mockery seeds drift on every breeze. On the first day of college, he introduced himself as a bridge builder, skipping any mention of viral videos because software updates erase old glitches with fresh code. Group projects formed fast, and Jaden proposed chat guidelines that banned sarcasm aimed at teammates. Classmates agreed, grateful for kindness captain steering the ship. Under starlight, he refreshed the compliment counter and laughed when it crossed 10,000, proof that goodwill can sprint along fiber faster than rumor ever dreamed. He texted Ella the milestone, and she replied with 2 robots high-fiving across a glowing tablet and a caption, "Next stop a million," which echoed like a promise across the field. Phone resting over his heart, Jaden gazed at constellations shaped like endless bridges and vowed to keep laying planks of care wherever screens or shadows tried to divide, whispering thanks to the silent willow that first witnessed his promise. Golden leaves skittered across the university quad as Jaden jogged to the glass tech lab doors, backpack clinking with cables, and the rebuilt silver bracelet hidden inside for courage. The National EdTech Expo sat exactly 3 weeks away, and he vowed Bridge Builder would run so smoothly that even half-awake first graders could tap, swipe, and grin without waiting. Professor Langford, neon bow tie forever buzzing against circuit posters, lent Jaden a rack of spare servers, daring him to crash them if you can, kid. Rising before dawn, Jaden unleashed bot swarms that fired thousands of compliments each minute, then graphed traffic spikes climbing like fireworks over a sleepy campus skyline. Tuesday noon, Marisol called from the high school library. New Empathy Club leaders wanted homeroom kindness roll calls piped through Bridge Builder's classroom mode. Jaden coded a shiny Bella Bravo button teachers could tap whenever a class kept its streak, triggering Ella's robot mascot to dance and fling pixel confetti across giant screens. Ella, juggling community college art and Dawn farm chores, emailed new Sprite outfits, a pumpkin cap for fall, a fuzzy scarf for winter, a green sprout hat for spring. Jaden added her cheerful voice clip, "Kind words build strong worlds." So sound-loving kiddos felt nudged even if they skimmed text. That night, the pumpkin animation made him laugh so loud his roommate hurled a pillow. Piece was bought with cafeteria cookies for a week. To prevent future flare UPS, he programmed the mascot to pop onto dorm TV each lazy Sunday, politely reminding residents to wash dishes, a joke that actually worked. Logan, now studying game design, texted fears that recruiters still pictured his prank video past no matter how neat his resume looked. Jaden answered that reputations were software versions, patchable, and invited him to a weekend hackathon about games rewarding calm listening. 2 days of tangled chargers, energy drinks, and pizza towers later, Logan's witty dialogue trees turned tense puzzles into playful lessons on patience. Their prototype, Peace Quest, won third place, judges praising branching stories that unlocked only when players chose respectful replies over all CAP rage. Jaden hid Peace Quest inside Bridge Builder as a bonus level, promising secret Super Bridge badges to users finishing without a single insult. Usage charts soared. Daily compliments flowed from 12, then 20 countries, numbers so wild Jaden nearly spilled hot cocoa on his robot mug. A package arrived. Ella's laser-cut stand shaped like two open palms cradling a mini bridge, perfect for the bracelet beside his Expo tablet. Her note read, "Blueprints bloom when shared," warming him more than any hoodie against the gusty quad. Expo week arrived. Banners taller than buses draped convention rafters, each promising math magic or reading adventures, and Jaden felt tiny yet electric among dreamers. His booth's touchscreen showed rainbow graphs, climbing with each new compliment, and visiting teachers cheered when chimes announced their first digital plank earned. On stage, he held two props, a paper airplane labeled hurtful and a cardboard bridge labeled helpful, letting simple visuals anchor restless fourth graders. He tossed the plane. It veered wild, proving mean words ricochet, then balanced the bridge between two volunteers who saw it stay firm even when nudged. Behind him, a live counter spun like a carnival wheel before stopping at 75,000 compliments, drawing gasps louder than the popcorn popper in concessions. A nonprofit director offered a grant to translate Bridge Builder into new languages, insisting empathy works no matter the alphabet. Jaden almost tripped from excitement but remembered Langford's warning, scale smart or bridges crack, so he promised sturdier servers first. Back on campus, his inbox flooded. He built a rainbow spreadsheet sorting true partners from buzzword hunters, coloring green only rows that clearly serve students. Among the emails shown an invite from Ella's aunt to host a summer workshop on the farm. Tablet quests mingled with hay bale races beneath buzzing cicadas. Jaden pictured laptops under oak shade, kids painting wooden bracelet charms for friendships repaired, and texted Logan plus Marisol. 2 instant yes replies returned. Weekends filled with lesson plans hopping between relay games and screen puzzles, keeping energy bouncing like sunbeams from grass to tablet glass. During final stress, he launched a triple-point comfort badge that tripled rewards for midnight study compliments, spiking usage graphs into rocket peaks. The campus counseling team noticed and asked to embed the badge in their wellness toolkit, hoping digital planks could brace real-life peer groups like Hidden Steel. On the last class day, he stood under the ancient oak, watching seniors he once tutored fling caps skyward, silently thanking his 8th grade self for surviving humiliation. That evening, he mailed Ella a user map dotted across 4 continents, captioned "Your Robot's World Tour," and she replied with a doodle of the mascot surfing Earth past fireworks. June dawned bright, and at Maple Ridge Farm, campers arrived holding sunflower seeds in one hand and tablets in the other, proof tech and nature can handshake happily. Logan led a cardboard punch bowl rebuild where kids poured folded compliments until rainbow slips overflowed like geysers of good words. Marisol filmed a montage set to light ukulele chords that became Bridge Builder's welcome clip, greeting every new user with sun, song, and rolling laughter. Under apple tree string lights on closing night, Ella unveiled a canvas of the bracelet stretching across sunrise, links glowing, bold text declaring repair is power. Jaden pushed an update letting users craft virtual bracelets by linking compliments from 6 different countries, turning empathy into shining digital jewelry. Campers gasped when the first global bracelet connected Pakistan, Brazil, Canada, Kenya, Japan, and Norway, pixel fireworks echoing real fireflies blinking in twilight. Breathing hey sweet air, Jaden pressed the original bracelet against his heartbeat and vowed that wherever he roamed, labs, expos, or quiet libraries, he would keep tightening every bolt so no bridge snapped beneath careless words again. Autumn leaves chased each other across the university quad while Jaden hurried toward the bright glass doors of the tech lab. The National EdTech Expo was just 3 weeks away, and bridge builders still needed polishing until even a sleepy first grader could use it easily. Professor Langford, wearing his neon green bow tie, had loaned Jaden an entire rack of spare servers for stress testing. Every dawn, Jaden arrived early and unleashed pretend users that fired thousands of compliments a minute. He watched colorful graphs rise like fireworks and fixed any slow spot before real kids could notice. On Tuesday, Marisol called from the high school library to share a new idea from the Empathy Club. They wanted homerooms to start each day by sending at least one kind message through Bridge Builder. Jaden loved the idea and coded a shiny Bella Bravo button for teachers to tap when classes hit streak goals. The button made Ella's friendly robot mascot dance and shower the screen with pixel confetti. Ella, busy with art classes and farm chores, emailed fresh robot outfits: pumpkin hat for fall, scarf for winter, and sprout cap for spring. Jaden added a cheerful audio line she recorded saying, "Kind words build strong worlds." That night, the pumpkin hat animation made him laugh so loudly his roommate tossed a pillow in protest. To make peace, he promised a week of cafeteria cookies and silence after midnight. Logan, now studying game design, texted to ask how he could erase his prank video reputation. Jaden replied that reputations are like software. They can be updated with honest work. He invited Logan to a weekend hackathon focused on games that teach calm listening. The event was a blur of pizza boxes, tangled cables, and energy drinks, but their team finished a game called Peace Quest. Peace Quest rewarded players who solved problems with respectful words instead of yelling. Judges gave the game 3rd place and a shiny acrylic gear trophy. Jaden tucked Peace Quest into Bridge Builder as a hidden bonus level with secret badges. Usage numbers jumped, and compliments flowed from a dozen new countries. Ella mailed a wooden stand shaped like 2 hands holding a tiny bridge for the expo display. Her note read, "Blueprints bloom when shared," making Jaden's smile wider than sunrise. Expo week arrived, and banners taller than buses filled the convention hall. Jaden's booth featured a big touchscreen showing live compliment counts climbing like carnival wheels. Teachers tapped badges and cheered when they earned their first digital plank. On stage, Jaden held a paper airplane labeled hurtful and a cardboard bridge labeled helpful. He threw the airplane, which darted wildly, then balanced the bridge between 2 student volunteers. Behind him, the live counter hit 75,000 compliments, drawing gasps from the crowd. A nonprofit leader offered a grant to translate Bridge Builder into more languages. Jaden promised to strengthen servers first so the new traffic would not break the system. After the expo, his inbox filled with partnership offers, so he built a color-coded spreadsheet to sort them. One email was from Ella's aunt inviting the team to hold a summer workshop on the farm. Jaden pictured tablets under oak trees and children painting wooden bracelet charms together. Logan and Marisol both texted yes within seconds of hearing the plan. During finals week, Jaden added a triple point badge that rewarded students who sent late-night study compliments. The campus counseling center asked to include the badge in its wellness program. On the last class day, he stood beneath the old oak, thanking his 8th grade self for never giving up. That evening, he launched an update letting users build virtual bracelets by linking compliments from 6 different countries. As fireflies blinked outside his dorm window, Jaden promised himself he would keep tightening every bolt on every bridge so no link ever snapped again.